So I have seen, like I'm sure many of you have, these British people who come over to America and talk about how great America is. You know, the food and the people and the nature and the whatever, vacation. And I've enjoyed some of those videos, I'll admit. They make me feel better about, where I live. But I've noticed that every once in a while I get like almost like a knee-jerk reaction or like a glitch of anger, and I want to focus on that that's why I turned the video on. I wanted to talk about that. Why would I be angry at these people enjoying America? And I feel like if I were to make a mean comment on one of their videos, which I wouldn't because I don't think they're being malicious in their enjoyment, but it's like it would be something like, well, I'm glad you get to enjoy my country. I've been here almost 50 years and I haven't had the opportunity yet. And that's what I wanted to talk about. Is like, I've lived in places where, if I mentioned them, you'd be like, oh, you've lived in paradise. Like, I've lived in California, I've lived in Texas, I've lived in Florida, I've lived in Indiana, and I've lived in Hawaii for a short time. So I have lived in places that are considered paradise. But I've never been on vacation, ever. I've never been to these destinations for the purposes of enjoying myself. I've always been working. I've always been overflowing with stress because I've never had enough money, living paycheck to paycheck, scraping by, I've never had the moment to enjoy anything. There have been a few times where I've stood and looked at things that I know other people consider like perfection, like looking at a beach or a palm tree or, whatever, a mountain. But I can never actually appreciate it because I'm not there for vacation. I'm not there to enjoy myself. I'm usually in the middle of something highly stressful, worrying about money, worrying about not being homeless, worried about getting enough money for food. Like, I've lived paycheck to paycheck my whole life. I'm 47. My paycheck right now isn't enough. The money I have in the bank plus the paycheck I just got yesterday isn't enough for rent. I have to use next week's and the week's after, all combined just to pay my rent that's due in about a week and a half. So it's like, I'm always like that. And, I've been driving 18-wheelers now for almost 2 decades. I've driven over 2 million miles. I drive about 500 miles a day at least. And I have no money. Like, I have a couple nice things like this truck that I'm in, and I have my son has a vehicle and he's about to graduate from high school. But it's like, it made me, these British people and watching their videos, after watching a few of them in a row, I'm like, wait a minute, like, why do you get to enjoy America? Like, I don't get to enjoy anything. I've only, I can't even get sick. Like, I got sick one time several years ago and I went to the ER, and to this day I still owe money on that. Like, it cost, I went to the ER for like an hour and I was dehydrated and I didn't realize it, and it cost me $5,000 for about an hour of emergency help. And I've told, I feel like after that experience, it's like, dude, leave me on the ground to die. I never want to go ever again. Like, I'm still, that's 5 years ago, I'm still paying it off now. And so it's like, what enjoyment, what, there's some decent food, but it's like, I don't get to travel around and go see things specifically, sit down and enjoy a quiet moment ever. Like, right now, I just worked 12 hours today and didn't even, really get anything accomplished with my job because the warehouse was overcrowded and they want me to come back tomorrow. So now I have to wake up again tomorrow at 3 a.m. to drive to work, to get in a truck, to drive another hour, to go to this place, this warehouse, and wait again and hopefully get unloaded. And then after that, I've told them, like, I need 2 days off. But I mean, on my 2 days off, the first day I usually just sleep. I'm like super lazy day, just resting. And then the second day I panic and it's like, I need to do something. Like, I'll usually go to the mall or take my son to a restaurant. But it's like, anything I do is always like stressful. Like, oh, I need to do something because I have to go back to work tomorrow, or I need to sleep all day, and then I hate myself because it's like I wasted a day. So this whole idea of enjoying anything it made me almost laugh when I thought about posting a mean comment, and I'm like, I'm not mad at these people. You know, I'm glad they're enjoying themselves. You know, there's a bunch of different British people who do videos about traveling around America and how much they love it. But like, my first instinct was like, oh, I could post a mean, you know, sort of self-deprecating comment like, oh, I'm glad you're getting to enjoy my country. After, you know, half a century, I haven't had one moment to enjoy any of it, so glad you're having fun. But anyways, I got it out now. That was my rant.